Modern situation, modern learning, modern people, and in modern times. Realities and opinion about modern education. Ato na istoryahan ay na episode. Hi, this is Owen, and this is IMOHA Podcast. So, kung pangutan-on tamo no, para asa mo gining eskwelahan? Yes, sakto mo no, para makakwarta ta pag-abot sa panahon na mo-graduate na ta. And also, just to supply the job from the industry, no? Ang kanang, kung unsa mo mga trabaho na sa industriya, mo na siyang eskwelahan para lawin natin mga competent worker. Like for example, kana sa TESDA, for example lang, mo na siya makakreate na sila mga electricians, mga plumbers, mga chefs or cooks, mga welders, no? Kay kabalo sila daghan gyud demand ana mga inana na klase ng mga trabaho. Like for example, mga interpreters. Sa una wala mga interpreters, wala mga extra language or mga foreign language na din sa TESDA. Muna karon na yung mga Japanese, Korean, Chinese, na Spanish. It's because kabalo sila na naagi demand ana na mga skills. Kay kung na mga turista mo sulod, at least naagi mga kabalo sa ana ng interpreters sa inana ng mga language mo na maka-generate na sila ana. And the same as the university as well. No? Sa university mo nang kailangan tagog ng mga accounting is because in every business naging mga accounting and mga engineers, siguro mga nurses, no? And also ang eskwelahan, hopefully no, to create jobs also sa mga tao, no. Like for example, makakita sila daghan kay mga graduate ani na mga klaseng mga tao. For example, criminology, engineers, daghan kayo or mga business administration, no. Daghan mga inana na mga klaseng mga graduate. So hopefully makahimo na sila trabaho ana na mga tawhana. Like for example, sa una nakabantay sila mga Filipinos maayo mo English. And then, muna sila makakreate na sila klaseng trabaho. Like, for example, ang ESL, also mga call center agents, and daghan pa. And so, kung nakainumdum mo sa una na in demand king nursing sa una, tungkol to sa demand sa US, sa UK, sa mga European countries, mutong panahon na nataas kitong enrollment sa mga nursing student. At I think at the time, early 2000, muna siya ang demand sa US, mga nurses. And after naisod tong ang tech industry, no? Kung kainumdum mo sa una, napatong Friendster, napatong MIRC, wala pa to na usong Facebook so I think ang YouTube mo pa panahon na medyo ning kuan ning sud na tong YouTube amo na siya. So ning daghan ang mga IT students atong panahon na computer engineering, computer science, mga information technology, mga ECE, electronics and communication engineering, abot pa tong mga robotics gani ato sa una. And then mo to siyang after atong tech industry ning sud ng tourism. So ning boom ang tourism sa Philippines, mutong daghan kay mga HRM. And also katong panahon na mga HRM student, demand kito siya sa gawas, sa mga cruise ship, sa mga mga hotels sa abroad. Mutong daghan kay mga HRM student at atong panahon na. Mutosad ang TESDA ning create po sila mga skills-based na mga courses, like mga waiter, bartenders, and chef, no? And muna siya, after anang tourism karon no, kabantay mo na mga online jobs na lang, muna mga virtual assistant, mga digital marketing, and also mga web-based jobs. So hopefully maka-create na po sila ginana ng mga klase ng mga courses para sa mga klase inana ng mga klaseng trabaho. So, just overview lang sa ako ang history sa ako ang education. No? So, when I was in grade school or elementary, medyo bugoy jud kay ko, no? Especially kung nakaka-eskwela sa public school. And muna na siya good kay sagol-sagol muna siya, which is muna nakanindot sa public school pag naka sa elementary, no. But dito ko nakatunog mga legal and illegal trades, no, mga sugal, mga kiat, mga kabuang, no. And mga sumbagay, so na uso pa tong mga inana. And that's the time I realized and I understand the reality in the streets, no, and also the struggles kung unsa kana dihas dalan. And after that one, when I was in high school, I failed the Filipino subject on the first year in high school. And then after that one, nag-summer class ko. Gibawi gito na ako to na subject and enroll ko na abot ko sa next level of high school. But mo to siya medyo na-owaw ko and then muna ning sud ko og kanang CAT, ni sud ko og sports. Na varsity ko ato at football. At that time, I was a goalkeeper and nasud ko og CAT. And at that time, when I graduated in high school, I got 6 awards. Well, that's not the sweet part because pag abot na ko college, medyo batik itong pag abot ako college, no, because at first fine arts was my first choice in college, but at that time wala demand sa fine arts ato, no. Move to painting and moto drawing lang and comics, uso tong comics ato sa una. But naabot gyud ko sa mga technical courses and moto siya na drop out nako ang duha ka technical courses na ako ang gikuha sa college. And then pag abot sa point nga dili na makaya og eskwela, So muna nitabaho na lang ko ato. So muna naabot ko sa hospitality industry, nagtrabaho ko sa hotel and restaurant, and moto na ako chance to work abroad. And my first abroad was in Dubai. And during my Dubai years, motong panahon na naka-school ako sa Emirates Academy, which is Emirates Academy is really a good school, mo siya university na for hospitality lang gid siya. And mondo at that time I was the only Filipino in the class. Most of it mga Indians, mga Europeans, mga Ukrainians. Moto kong first na klaseng international. And after that one, na ako'y chance to work in a cruise ship. At the time, it was a German ship. And then, sa amo ang barko na may German language. Kailangan may magkato ng German language. And na may mga 5 level of German language. And nakaabot ko, ka-third level ko na ako. So, medyo kasabot ko mga German. And that was really a good experience po na nakatong ko German. So, muna siya. And after the cruise ship, so nakingon ko, well, maybe mabalik na ako sa Pilipinas. No? And after that one, I enrolled back in college. And I graduated my bachelor's degree as a working student at the age of 34. And I'm still looking forward for more learnings. And why I'm telling you this? I'm not telling you this just because of some success stories. I mean, common na daghan na kayo ng mga success stories. But I'm telling you this is because I understand the struggles for my real life experiences from my life's perspective. And kasabot jud ko na basta eskwela gani lisod yun na siya. But after all, I realized that education is really, really important, you know. And dili ko proud sa akong mga nahitabo because I really had a bad experience at the time. But I'm not really so proud. But also, I'm not shy, no. Dili po ko maawa po mustorya sa ako ang experiences. And mana siya. And also, muna siya akong mga nabantayan sad na most of the top schools, isod gina sila og mga entrance exam. And nanas sila usay mga series of interviews, meaning taas gid ila mga qualifications sa ilahang mga student, no, para maka-catch up pud ang mga estudyante sa ilahang mga subjects, ilahang curriculum, no. And mo na siya, mo nang kalaban na pud mga estudyante nila pag-graduate pud mga maayo sa ginong kaayo, maayo sa ilahang career, makakita sila saktong trabaho, makakita sila kuan kumbaga in demand sa sila, which is very good po na siya, no, sa part sa university or part sa mga eskwelahan. Para ma-filter po nila dahil ng mga estudyante. So, kabalo mo kita na, dili tanan parehas og ng mga capacity sa academic skills o mga sa utok, no? Nagiuban ng mga advanced yung kayo and then pas-pas yung kayo na sila makahuna-huna. So, kung inana magani, no, na they're really good in filtering these students, no, para lang yun kinsay mga estudyante para sa ilaha. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that they're really good in teaching, no. It's easy for them to teach these kids because may naman kayo sila utok, nanam sila mga academic skills. But if they will prove to be the best or to be the top schools or the top university, mas kung makaya nila tong i-uplift tong mga estudyante nga dili gid sila ana kamaayog mga academic skills. So muna siya pud akong kuwang nabantayan. If really good in teaching, then teach the kids or teach the students na katong dili gid sila ana kamayo. Karon mga top universities, they're really top because they already filtered the top students already, no. Muna siya yung reality karon. So mo po ni siya akong nabantayan, and especially now in online learning, parents, I know po gid bag-o sa parents karon, and so karon pagani, no, sila na gani magtuon para silang mga anak, which is it's so sad, but it's really kanang pod challenging sa mga parents karon. And I have a lot of friends from teachers, parents, students, and makasabot ko sila mga concern, sila mga ayaw-yaw, kasi makadungog lang ko silang mga concern. But mo po na, kasabot sa kita na not all parents have educational attainment. Mabugad ang paeskwelahon nila lang mga anak para naapoy maabdan lang anak, dili mapare sa ila, which is a very good kanang mentality sa mga parents. Dapat din mabantayan na most of the parents now nagtrabaho, no? Wala na sila time para silang mga anak. And mo na siya concern karon, and ako pong nabantayan sad kung kung online learning man, most of the jobs right now is work from home naman sad, diba? And kabantas ko, most of the people now wala mo sa trabaho because of this pandemic. Mo na makaguol. So man siya, kung instead of ikaw may mag-study para sa mga subjects ng mga anak, then instead teach our kids to be independent na po, no? Let them think for themselves. Kailangan kabalo sila makunahuna para silang kagulingon, and teach them how to think, no. Find a good patterns sa unsa ilang gustong mga style, unsa the ways sila makat-on sa usa ka butang, no. I know it's really difficult for the grade schools, sa mga elementary. It's because mo pa na yung mga kuan sa mga bata, makibagay pa ka or makitan-up pa ka unsay mga style of learning sa mga bata nato karon, no? And that's our role as a parents, no? We are parents and we should also be a teacher. Or night times gani na naslay nakatunan pero wala ka, discuss what they've learned and equip them with tools kung unsay mga kailangan na silang learning. Also for the teachers, no, I really love these teachers and no really have the hard time, but I know napa na sila support sa government and hopefully be sensible naman po sa mga module. And I know most of the teachers now kasabot man sad, no, and kung magpwede pa lang mag I love you ng mga teachers karon, I love you na lang daan, but I know they really have the empathy for their students, no, and also for their parents, and I really love that. And also, I think that online schooling is not really good for long term. Why? It's because we are a social animals, and we need some real interaction. No, kung nana gitawag nila the feel good chemical, which is what we call the oxytocin. And I think most of you already ang sa uban siguro nakailan ani, but for those people na wala kabalo, oxytocin is feel good chemical sa to ang lawas. No, sometimes they call this one is the love hormone because it's associated with the empathy, trust, sexual activity, and relationship building. So muna siya, no, kung kabantay mo sa una, no, kung muhag tas tong parents, no, kung katong bata pa ta, no, we feel safe pag na ang parents na to, gamay pa ta. And kung bantay, kung sa gamay pa ta, mahadlok ta, natin sa high times, mahadlok ta ngit-ngit, mahadlok ta, mudagan ta, and then maato din ta sa mga parents, maato ta sa mga tao, no. And by the time maka-feel na ka nanana sila, we feel safe, no? And then maka-touch ka sa emuhang kuan, manago kita usahay sa likod sa tong parents because we feel safe pag we are touched by the people, no? Ang muna siya ang feeling, the skin to skin po na siya ang pasabotan nila. And even with the adults, pag katong mga dagko na po, no, na times na maglain yung mga buot, no, or maybe nabuwagan mo or something, no, or galagot mo, or but that time makagakos ka sa imong best friend maybe, or maybe sa imong kaila or sa imong uyab or something, no, lamay kay ang feeling, lamay kay I know kabalo mo na ang sa kapasabotan na, but muna siya akong kuan na we feel very good pag real interaction, not in online schooling, no. And muna siya, that's why we cannot build relationship online. Muna siya, mga dating app is just a place to meet, not a place to date. Muna siya dapat meeting app na siya, no, dili na siya dating app because dating needs real interaction, no? Mag-date ka, mo-adto mo, magkita mo, and that's really the oxytocin. That's why online schooling is only good for short-term courses, no? And also really good for self-learning, for mga tao na gusto lang makat-on at their own pace, and online schooling is really good for that. And also, I think that experience is really the best teacher, from first-hand experiences or maybe a second-hand experiences. What I mean by second-hand experiences is that we learn it from the other people, no? Like maybe from our classmates, maybe from our parents, maybe from other people, maybe sa imuhang ka-boardmate nimo, no? Or maybe from the history ni, we'll learn it from them. But muna siya, and sometimes the second-hand experience is really so extreme na makaingon jud ka nga di ko kalimot ay niya, especially kanang anak gini siya kagrabe na experience na, especially kanang mga kauban na to na mga buliagon or something, no. So and also in the first-hand experiences, muna siya, we learn from our mistakes, and sometimes we make our own mistakes, no. And muna siya ato ang mga experiences, there's really strong experiences, and that's really a best teacher for us. And take more experiences as much as possible, no. Get some workshop, maybe immersion, no. Be a hands-on person, and also have the actual activity, no, or submit yourself, no, for something. Naikuan lagi na maay kay na sila moduwa, may na kay sila sa basketball, pero nagduwa sila sa PlayStation, and wala kay makatunan sa basketball if sa PlayStation ka magduwa. Go out, have the actual activity, no. Muna siya gingon na the more experience you have, the more stories to tell, and the more learnings you get. Kung nakabantay mo sa uban sad na they buy more in experiences rather than things, no. Like muna siya, mas mugastos sila sa travel than buying some new stuff, because in travel di na ka makakat-on sa culture sa tao, or maybe you meet some other people, and also of course makakita ka sa views sa lugar. And that experience is really a strong experiences as well, no. And when you say hands-on, or when you say experiences, sometimes we'll learn from that one. We'll learn how to learn also. When you say experiences, no, kailangan ta makat-on. Not all people know how to learn things, no. Kung kabantay mo, ang school they really teach us what to learn, but no one is teaching us how to learn, no? Kung saan na to pagkat-una to. Balik to kung kuwan ganina na issue about the online schooling na we need to learn how to learn, no? So unsa toy ato ang dapat makatunan, no? And muna siya gingon na when you hear, you forget. When you see, you remember. But when you do, you understand. Kung nakabantay mo sa una, estudyante ta, kung maminaw lang ta, kasi makalimot kita. Kung nanay mga visual aid karon, nanay mga TVs, nanay mga projectors, nanay mga chalk, o sa una pa to chalk pa to, isuwat gito dapat, no? And mo to'y mahinumduman ginato. But by the time na ikaw na yung mutudlo, ikaw na yung teacher, then you understand mas more na makatun ka na halapita. And mo na siya. And again, hearing is you forget when you kung maminaw ka, but it's different when you listen. Because when you listen, imo ganang i-internalize gid kung sa tay pasabot sa usa ka tawo na. And kung kabantay mo, speaking of experiences again, no, gitawag nila o kanang gikan ni siya sa kang Jim Quick. If you're familiar with Jim Quick, he is a memory coach, and yan siya na emotions plus informations is equals to the long-term memory. And yes, agree ko ana because we remember those people na nagpasakit na to sa una, no. Mahinumduman nimo to ang mga teachers nimo na katong pinangga kay kasi mong teachers because you have that emotion, and mahinumdum ka ta sa imong mga classmate nimo na nakasumbagay nimo or maybe nakaaway nimo or maybe nakaunsa ba nimo din ano, and you really remember those people because of that strong emotion, and that's also the information nga unsa tong nahitabo. So nala ko yung what if, no, and maybe this really a good question, could be a good idea, no. And my first what if is that what if not a mentoring system, whether it's really in school or maybe in a workplace or maybe in a small organization. Let's have maybe like a coaching session. Like what if ang second year in high school, no, you have to luan ang first year mga freshmen, no. Unsa to yung mga academic nila na mga subjects pwede niya tudluan. So unsa to yung nakatunan niya when he or she was in first year high school, iyahang tudluan kay kabalo siya ato mga subject ka. So by that time kanang freshman pag abot niya og third year in high school, meaning naa siya fourth year na motudlo niya and naa siya second year niya ang tudluan, which is ipasa ra ang unsa to yung nakatunan sa usa ka tawo. And then dili lang kay teaching lang ato ang makatunan. It's just also we create the relationship between each other, sad, no? And then back to the oxytocin, the love hormone, and the reality and the interaction, no? And that's just in high school. And what if in college? Or what if in the workplace na gid siya? Kinamdom pa naman ko ato sa una na nako sa cruise ship na Tunisian. And sa cruise ship nami kanang rookie coaching. Nako sa rookie coaching program atong panahon na. And every time na yung mga bagong sampa is the first time nila mo sakay og kanang cruise ship. And tudluan to sila sa kinsa to yung mga taong kanang bagong sampa. And na ito'y times kato siya nga Tunisian, dili kayo ganahan ang mga kauban ako ato niya, which is I don't know why, because sa ako lang buutan kito siya, and he's really smart, and ako gitudlo gina ko to siya, and then usahay ang mga kauban na po nako di naganahan sa ko tungod kay ngano sige nako siya gitudluan kay ay laha mo dato is the crab mentality po ng ubang mga nationalities, no, di lang kay kita lang mga Filipino, ang uban sa good na kung tudluan mo na siya, mo promote na siya pohon, mo maghihapon daog-daogon ra ka, which is wala ko gahunahon na ato, ako lang is mo tudlo lang ko ato. And after that one kato siya nga Tunisian, so ning okay na mi sa ni okay na siya sa iyang trabaho, and then nakat-on gito siya, and then after all maay kay siya og selling, so maay kay siya salesman gito siya dating, no. Then makakuha gito siya day off because makahalin gito siya mga botilya na exclusive, na inclusive nga mga kuan na mga items, exclusive items, makakuha to siya, makahalin to siya. And mo to siya, then after all na-promote ko ato, and then siya ato to siya tong posisyon na. And then niya na siya na ma-cross-train siya sa ako ang bagong position. And then niya na siya na, okay fine, niya na ko sige, wala problema. And then daghan kay mga trainers ato, and then gipangita gyapon ko to niya. And then gusto gyapon siya na ako gyapon to coach ato niya. And then pag training niya, ako gyapon siya gitudloan. So wala na ako sa cruise ship, and until now mo tawag po sila, hello coach, no? And then ako na bito siya bangko, bagay tawag po ko niya coach. Muna siya, and that mentoring system is actually common also in the martial arts, no? You will never be a master if you don't have a followers. So muna siya, balik ta atong katong experiences, no? When you hear, you forget. When you see, you remember. And when you do, you understand. When you do it, no? By the time mo tudlo ka, that's the times sabot niyo ka. And kato siyang akong idea ganina na second year in high school na katong gitudloan niya yahang freshman, mas makat-on pa siya samot sa iyang subjects because makahinumdum siya sa katong mga subject niya when muna siya mas makatabang pa siya siyang kaugalingon pag abot na niya sa second year because na siya gitudluan and may refresh po na siya good. And also napugoy nakita ni and I get this in the Philippine Statistics Authority that the top reasons why most students stop going to school and for male and female, that's both male and female, no. So the number one reason nga buundang ang lalaki sa pag-eskwela is that the lack of interest. Nawad-an sila og interest, no. Ngano man, asa man ang ilahang goal, asa ilang vision ba? So meaning wala sila kabalo kung after sa ilang eskwela asa sila padung ani, wala sila goal na ilahang tan-awon. And that's the sad part because interest is just kanang maybe it's external, I could say maybe. So man siya taw-taw ato nang istoryahan about interest, no. And the second reason why nga lalaki mo undang is because of the high cost of education. Well, siguro yes, na may uban na mahal jud kay no, but most of the public schools now are free, maybe siguro no, ang expenses na the family expenses maybe labot na siguro ng nawad ag trabaho or maybe mga family members na wala sa ilahang pamilya, no. And I think makasabot sa ana and also din na mo gawas ang kanang mayon mahal ang eskwela. And muna siya ang third reason sa mga lalaki na mo undang is because of employment, no. Kailangan na sila mangitag trabaho. By the time na sila kanang edad na pwede na sila makatrabaho, mangangita na sila trabaho. And muna siya nahitabo po na ako when I was in college. And also the female, no, the first reason nga na muundang ang babae sa eskwela is because of marriage, no. Maybe dinhin na siya magawas ang mga early pregnancy sa atong mga kababahian sa una. And muna siya mapugos na po na sila og kanang pakasal, no. And muna siya. And then also the second reason nga ang babae mo undang is because of high cost of education. So maybe at that time siguro kung namabdos na muna siya siguro nanay gasto, no, because nanay bata, nanay mga expenses, and then ang uban pagud wadan pag yung mga trabaho ang uban, so makiingon sila na mahal yun ang education, no. So the third reason sa mga babae nga undang sila eskwela is because of lack of interest. That's the third one. So mga babae mas interesado gid sa eskwela kaysa mga lalaki. And why, And muna siyang ako ang pangutana usahay na wala pa ko katubag. And maybe some of you, maybe you can answer me, you can comment, or maybe you can PM me, or bisag unsa, contact me or anything, And so muna siya ang top reasons for overall both male and female, no. The top number 1 is marriage. The top 2 is lack of interest. And the top 3 is a high cost of education. And the top 4 is employment. So mga 0.1 lang ang makagraduate sa college, and both male and female. And speaking of graduate, most of the graduates are female, and most of taas yung enrollment po bisag female, no. So daghan yung eskwela ang mga babae kaysa mga lalaki. Or maybe because I don't know the population or the ratio of populations male and female. But muna siyang data nakuha nako 2017. So muna siyang lack of interest, and that's my second what if. What if we teach interesting things? Let's make the subject more interesting, no? Like for example, in a math class, let's make it more kanang applicable in real life. Like for example, pangutanong ninyo, unsa man ang x squared? Well, x squared is just a mathematical expression. So unsa may para nas ako, no? What is in a real life? What is Pythagorean theorem? Or the Newton's law? So unsa man may para sa ako? Or maybe like social studies, the political structures of one country. So unsa may para sa ako ana, no? Unsa ako ang makuha ana, no? What's in it for me? And muna siya ako just what if lang pod, no. What if ang history ug ang literature should be an optional subject in college, no, instead of history ug literature? What if utangan to siya parenting subject? What if stress management? What if leadership, no? I know history is really great, kabalo jud ko maayo man ganahan ko sa history, but most of the subjects now has its own history, like history of the mathematics, no, asa nagika, no, and history of this kind of social studies, no. So let's take it from there. I mean, instead of those one, maybe let's more focus on parenting, or maybe stress management, or maybe leadership, no? Because first reason ganina is number 1 is marriage, di ba? Muna siyang mga muundang ang mga tao is because of marriage, and dili sila prepared for marriage. Unsa may prerequisite of being a parent, be? Dili ta makaadtog high school kung dili ta moagig elementary. Dili ta maabot og college kung dili ta moagig high school, di ba? Dili ta makatrabaho kung dili ta makaagi og mga eskwela, no, maglisod ta. And then being a parent, what's the prerequisite of being a parent daw? And most of the learnings actually start from home, right? And kung ang parents dili gid siya anak kamaayo mo tudlo siyang mga anak and wala siya idea on sa pag handle siyang mga anak, then man siya mahitabo nato. And also part of the interesting things, let's teach our kids or our students to be interested in solving problem, no, and then how to deal with the problem, kita tanan negative problema. And it doesn't mean na kung problem solving gani dayon math na dayon na ang tumahon-na no. I'm just saying this one in general. Let's teach our kids to face and be comfortable, especially maigo na atong mga emotions kay di na maguta bias kita basta maigo na gaya na matandog na gaya na atong mga emotions then di na ta magka problema, no. And be resilient. So muna siya kong giingon kanina about the stress management that if naampal na siya subject, and all kind of courses sa college or maybe part na siya sa high school, let's encourage our kanang kids to be interested and also willing to solve problem, especially the unknown problem. Na may iba na nga problema na makita lang nimo ang mga solution din lang sa imong mga paligid, but ang ako lang is the problem where kana ganing ang solution is dili pa nimo makita, which is ang uban daghan kay mo give up ana when in terms of solving that kind of problem. So mo na siyang last idea with regards to the interesting things. My third what if is that what if we make a culture of taking the responsibilities? We all know that responsibility is not given; it's always taken. So di ka nga tagaan responsibilidad, responsibilities is always taken. Ako ang kwaon ng responsibility. And especially when we get mistakes, we are responsible of making our mistakes. And maybe we get mistakes from our career or maybe in a relationship or maybe in academics. And also we need to be responsible with our health. Life is really a depressing one, but responsibilities makes the life more meaningful. And we should not seek any happiness, but instead we seek the fulfillment or the meaningful life. Because happiness is just the byproduct of everything. No, more siya kanang the sum up of all the good things that happen in your life. That's what we call happiness. But all those good things happens. It's come from the responsibilities. Muna siya when we take responsibilities as a student or as a parent or as a teacher, then we create that kind of meaningful life. And also when we encounter difficulties, no, most of us will quit. Nga naman, because we don't take that responsibility. And muna giingon nila na sa una na quitters never win and winners never quit. But now, winners quit all the time. But they don't quit when they are tired. They quit when they don't see the purpose of their efforts. Because winners are always be visionary. And we only quit when our vision is gone. Muna siya sa una siguro na ang mga lalaki mawad og interest when first reason nga no mundang sa eskwela, it's because wala na sila vision eh. Wala na sila responsibility to keep that vision. And it's our responsibility to make that vision into the reality and also the responsibility to keep that vision. So mapunin siya akong gisulti ganina that about leadership, it's because leaders take the responsibilities. I'm not saying na we should be all leaders because leadership is a choice. Na iba na dili ganahan mag-leader. But parenting is still a leadership, no? Ikaw may gihapon leaders in inyong pamilya. And when we are leaders, we take the responsibilities. We have the guts to make the first move. And we are brave enough to face the consequences, no, or maybe mistakes, no, or maybe the unknown result. And muna siya nga ako ang masulti. So nga nag-discuss man ako niya siya nga topic. Maybe usa ka sa mga parents ka no na wala naka-graduate or maybe nagmahay ka sa imong pag-eskwela or maybe usa ka sa mga tao na naglisod og pangitag trabaho or mga parents na naglisod og tudlo sa ilang mga anak. Or maybe a teacher na ganahan lang siya kausaban, maybe in our educational system or maybe just a different approach in learning. And usa sa akong mga goal actually in this episode is that just to give you an insight that being a parent is also being a teacher, and being a teacher also has a leadership role in the classroom, and also being a leader is also like a parent. So if you're one of the leaders also, treat your staff like your kids. So muna siya triangle, and ang kanang tulo is just like a complement with each other. And really a good analogy teacher, parents, and being a leader. And also just to give you a different perspective about learning, about teaching, maybe let's teach about practical learning and interesting things, and also just to promote about the continuous learning. Be progressive always, continue to learn kada adlaw nagid kay makatuna na kay makatunan sa uban, and muna siya gingon na the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And especially karon na mga new normal na ba karon, and daghan na kay kausaban, no. And by the way, there's no such thing as normal when it's always changing, di ba? If you're still listening until this part, then you might create some thoughts or maybe some pictures in your head. Then please, you can paint that one into words and let us know. And that box right there is open for you. And then that like button is just a quick feedback of this episode kung ganahan ba ka ani or dili, no? And if you feel that image of your head is really powerful or that picture in your head is really so powerful, then please share that one to a friend and let them create something as well. And before I end up this episode, let me leave you this statement that keep teaching, keep learning. Pick one, teach one. That's all for today. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.